All right, good afternoon, traders. Today is February 27, 2024. My name is John Kerrigan. I moderate the BYOB Trading Room. Thank you for being here. Let's take a look at some charts today. All right, let's take a look at first chart. Going to look at SPY. All right. And I mentioned earlier this morning, before the day even started, that if we happen to take out this tail over here, there's a good chance we're coming all the way over here. I got the hiccups. And check out the breakup candle low right down here. So today we chopped and chopped and chopped around inside this area up here. Just chopped up and over VWAP probably 4 or 5 times. And then we finally had a breakdown and we did a gap fill for this gap right here. You got an open gap that exists right through here. And right in here, there's an open gap. And we traded price right into 585. Okay, that's where we traded price right into there. All right, so that was happened. For the most part, the day acted like it wanted to get bullish, but it didn't get bullish. And then it finally broke down. And then I did mention earlier that I saw a descending wick pattern populating on the hourly or 30-minute chart. You can see a descending wicks. You can see these descending highs right through here, and probably have a move to the downside. And we finally broke through the base. Now we did come into the base probably once, twice on the 25th. You can see we came into the base a couple times here. Once, two. You can see each one of these candles on the hourly kind of stops right here, and then finally they had enough sellers to blast through, and we did a gap fill right there on SPY. So let's look at the 10-minute chart. It's a 10-minute downtrend going into the close. We will look for a continuation of that downtrend tomorrow when we trade. Continuation of that downtrend. I don't see any exhaustion candles, so I don't see there to be a reason why it doesn't continue traveling further south. On the 2-hour chart, we got a 2-hour downtrend. All right, you can see price action. The three and the candle underneath the white and the 17 EMA. That's the red dots right through here. So probably get a $1.50 bounce off of that gap fill, and then we'll see where they consolidate out, and then probably look for price to probably go down there and test that breakup candle low. Just want to mention, we broke through major support here. This was the last line of defense on major support. So if you took all of this consolidation right through here, all of this, okay, these two candles were the last lines of defense, and we broke through those today, and there's a good chance we're going to come down here and test those lows. And nothing says that those lows have to hold. They might go further south till they get to 550, the big fat whole round number. All right, I'm just saying, I mean, if they take it down this far, I'm pretty sure they're probably going to take it down to, there's a possibility for them to take it down to 550. So we'll see what happens. So there's SPY on the 2-hour chart, got a 2-hour downtrend. All right, let's take a look at daily chart. All right, daily chart, red candle. Hope that's not an exhaustion candle. We'll see what it is tomorrow. Lower high, lower low, closing under a bearish trap underneath the 17 EMA. This is price action is in a downtrend because we made a lower low than right here. Okay, but on the on the quad lines, all right, this is bullish up here in the upper third. So price action still above this August low, anchored VWAP. So maybe see a test of that sometime tomorrow. Look for 581. Let me see if I can get that on the low. There we go. So look for a test of 579 area. See these two candles here? Maybe look for a test of those candles sometime tomorrow. About 580, 579. Lines up with this low anchored VWAP. And that should carry some weight. Should get like $1, $2 bounce coming off of that as it lines up with this support area right through here. So there's on the daily chart, there's SPY. Game plan. Okay, game plan was kind of rough, I gotta admit, because there were times today when we smacked the high and we smacked the high and we smacked the high. We never closed a candle up here. Okay. The first candle was a topping wick candle. Couldn't buy that. Next candle was red. Couldn't buy that. All right. Then we had a bullish engulfing move, and it looked like we were going to go, and I got duped into buying some calls. And from there, we kind of got whack-a-moled all the way back down to the base down here. All right. Then we came up here, made a lower high, and you can see the sell-off right there on SPY on the game plan. Oh, excuse me. And then you can see right here, here's the red. Here's our entry below this area here. Now we got below it once here, but we had see the tail right there? So we had a bottoming tail, so we couldn't buy that. And then we had a igniting green candle here, so we couldn't sell this and couldn't sell that. Then we had bullish engulfing on this one, but they made a lower high, came back and rolled over all the way down. So there's SPY on the 10-minute. Let's take a look at QQQ. Okay, that was our game plan. QQQ, same deal, all right? Price action got down underneath here, and you can see price action consolidated underneath the sell line, which was 512.08, and then finally broke free and came down here to 500, the big fat whole round number on QQQ. So QQQ on the daily chart, and I'll bet everybody's candle looks like this today. Lower high, lower low, closing under the bearish trap, under the 17. Same thing happening in SPY. Let's take a look at IWM. IWM, lower high, lower low, closing under the trap, under the 17. Underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP here. IWM in the lower third now. This is bearish. All right, IWM is bearish in the lower third. Just got a habit of moving up and giving it up there. So there's IWM. Take a look at the IM and Dow. Still in the upper third. That's still bullish. Price action, another outside day. It's like the third outside day. No, not the third. But anyways, yeah. Here's an inside day right here. And then there's an outside day. And then there's another outside day. So higher high, lower low, closing under the trap, under the 17. Under the all-time high anchored VWAP, above the uptrend line, up here in the upper third, that's bullish up there. SPY's bullish, QQQ's bullish. Let's take a look at FNGU. All right, FNGU losing the upper third, so that's just neutral. Price action is a higher high and a lower low, closing under the trap, under the 17, underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP. Take a look at our technicals, T2122. We find ourselves back in the sell zone. Probably going to be in the oversold zone sometime tomorrow. That's what it looks like. No more lower highs here, and no sign of bullishness right now. So there's T2122, T2123. Red from the beginning of the day to the end of the day, just selling nonstop from the beginning to the end of the day. On the 3-bar chart, same product. You can see price actions coming down to this prior all-time high right here. So maybe that holds. Maybe you get a bounce on that, and maybe they bounce back up to the 200. We'll see what happens. But on 3-bar chart, got three more red candle bars here. Price action definitely pulling back. We were looking at a bull flag earlier, and you can see here's our flag that goes up and over to the right, and you can see we've lost the bull flag right here in the box. You can see the flag is no longer intact. It's kind of tipping over here, so flag's getting wrecked. For FNGU, all right, for FNGU, and we'll look at it on the 15. You can see pretty much selling from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. Got a green candle here because we gapped up. Got a green candle here because we popped back up over VWAP. We didn't hold it for long. Then we came back down, popped back to VWAP. 2 more green candles there. But all in all, they just sold off and made a lower low. Again, still trapped underneath this 200 SMA. Still trapped underneath this pink all-time high anchored VWAP right there. So there's FNGU. Let's take a look at a few sectors. We'll take a look at XLE. All right, XLE got a, well, it's on the midpoint right here. It looked like a higher high and a higher low, closing under a bearish trap under the 17, under this 12-month high anchored VWAP, under the downtrend lines, 2 of them here, but still hanging on to the midpoint, so it's just neutral right there. UNG got an outside day. That's a higher high, lower low, closing under a bullish trap over the rising 17, over this 12-month high anchored VWAP right here. It's a 12-month high anchored VWAP right there. And we're over that, and we're up in quadrant 4. That's bullish up there. USO got a higher low and a higher high, closing inside a bearish trap under the falling 17. Now in a downtrend, they took out, made a lower low here. Came back, bounced off this area into the buy box. Kind of thought it would be right down here, but it may get down there sometime tomorrow or next week. We'll see what happens with USO. USO back in the buy box right now. So there's USO. Oh, excuse me. And USO is neutral because they go up and they give it up. All right, let's take a look at gold. Gold got a lower high and a lower low, closing underneath the bearish cross, underneath the 17, underneath this prior all-time, over the prior all-time high anchored VWAP, up here in quadrant 4, but underneath the 17. That's still bullish up there in quadrant 4. Let's take a look at silver. That's still in an uptrend and still bullish. Silver still in an uptrend and bullish. No, and neutral. Lower high, lower low, closing under the trap, under the 17. No longer in the upper third, so it's just neutral and closing underneath the 12-month high anchored VWAP right there. So there's silver. Just neutral on silver. SMH. SMH got hammered today. I don't know what happened. They got an outside day. It's a higher high and a lower low, closing under the trap, under the 17, under the midpoint, under the all-time high anchored VWAP. Just a horrible day for SMH. Let's take a look at XLK. XLK no longer in the upper third. That's neutral. SMH neutral. XLK got a lower high, lower low, closing under the trap, under the 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP, under the prior all-time high anchored VWAP. Just neutral here, all right? Couldn't quite hold this area, XLK. XLF closing up here. Wow, different candle for that one. XLF up here bullish, all right, in quadrant 4. Higher low, higher high, closing inside a bearish trap under the 17 EMA. Still bullish in that bull flag up here in quadrant 4. Take a look at the transports, lower high, lower low, closing under the trap, under the 17 EMA. Price action, you can see keeps moving up and giving it up, all right? So it's just neutral. We're closing under the all-time high anchored VWAP. We're closing under the uptrend line. We're closing under the upper third. We're closing under a falling 17. So this is just neutral right here. All right, traders, I'll take some questions in the room. If there's none, we're going to call it a day. I think y'all, did anybody make some money today? What do you mean, no sound? Well, all right, so they can't hear me, so let me just render this and hand it to them. All right, so